Hey man, what's up? I need you to edit this video for today.
No, please, I want to go home.
I'm afraid I'll have to insist.
I've had it with all these edits. What is this?
So, I'll need that video again.
Not this time. Have you seen someone passing by?
Somebody with a beard?
Yeah.
Blue pants?
Yeah?
White sweater that says Creator Galaxy?
Yeah.
Pretty handsome?
Yeah, I guess.
No, haven't seen him.
Welcome to VFX Explained, the show where we look at visual effects from Hollywood blockbusters, viral videos or music videos and recreate them. In this video, I will show you how I have created 3 visual effects from the Marvel series Loki. So I posted a mysterious story on Instagram with some green light in there, and I didn't expect that anyone would actually guess what I posted. So yeah, you got that right. But let's cover the effects. The 3 visual effects that I will cover in today's video are the time reset effect, the Loki transforming effect, and we're also going to recreate the TVA portal. By the way, if you enjoy my videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel and also hit the notification bell so you stay notified when I upload new videos. Also, drop me one of these. So let's start simple, the time reset effect. It's actually a really easy effect to accomplish. All you need is a camera and a tripod or something to put your camera on. We don't want any movement because we want to keep the shot consistent. So all you do is record your act where you're storming off, and then we have a clean plate, and then you can do the act where you're getting back into the chair. You can even storm off again and repeat this for infinity and even turn it into a loop. So now we have something like this. But now we want to spice up the intersection a little bit with some kind of nice blurs. So to do that, I will just duplicate my footage where Enzoe is storming off. I will freeze that last frame and then just rotoscope him out with the mask tool. You can do this pretty roughly because we're going to blur it up anyway. I'm going to put that in the middle section on top of the clean plate and then add a directional blur. You can even duplicate that layer again and then add another directional blur that is even blurrier, or maybe even a chromatic displacement effect such as this one. I actually use the Quick Chromatic Aberration, which is a free plugin for Adobe After Effects, and you can apply RGB split effects really quick using that technique. I've also keyframed the position a little bit for these frozen frames, so there is a little bit of movement there, a little bit of glitch, and then we get something like this. Alright, so that was the first effect. Now for the second effect, the Loki transformation effect. If you're anything like me, then you really get frustrated when you're editing and everything turns out to be super slow, counterproductive, and you just feel like you're wasting time. So one cause of that could be that you're not using a correct drive and it's way too slow for your projects. So you should upgrade to an SSD. And that's where Corsair comes in. They didn't sponsor today's video, but they do send products from time to time. And in this case, they send over a 2 terabytes SSD. An SSD is super useful to put your projects files on. So when you're working from an SSD, all your files are going to be written and read super rapidly, and it's not going to cause any lag. Anyway, I will link Corsair in the description below so you can go and check them out for yourself. They are a top of the line quality product, so I would definitely encourage you to look into them. And let's get back to the video. Here we basically want the same thing. We want our camera on a tripod and record ourselves getting into position. Then act like you're actually transforming, stay in that position, then the second actor comes into place, which is my fiance in this case, and I just make sure that she's coming straight in front of me and then taking a step back to be in the exact same spot that I was. Also making sure that the arms are in the kind of same position and then act like you're also being transformed. Then we also want the clean plate here so we can bring that into post. In post, again, I made this simple cut, and I also made a frozen frame of myself rotoscoped out on top of Michaela, because there I want to make that transformation using a shape. So I actually used a solid layer with an ellipse tool applied to it, and then I just made it grow over time. And I also applied a turbulence displacement effect on top of this and animated the evolution and also played with the settings until I got something like this. This matte is actually great to make a reveal. And then I'm using this on top of my layers, either in an alpha matte or in an inverted alpha matte, depending on what I want to do, because I want me to actually get out of the shot and I want her to get into the shot. So I'm using that same matte to do both, but once inverted and once not, if that makes sense. Now all I want to do is make those lines and actually that shine effect that is typically for a Loki transformation. So for that, let's take a look. So I basically used that same matte and I also inverted that and then I pre-composed that. Then I used my roto for a matte for that pre-composition. So here on that line effect, I want to apply a fractal noise and then also a CC radial blur. Set it to brightest and then I'm also going to increase the amount here so I get these nice shine effects. You can also use plugins, but that's completely up to you. I did use VC Color Vibrance to give it a color, but this is a free plugin that you can download from videocopilot.net. So that brings us to this final result. So now for the third effect, the TVA portal. Well, you can do this either in Adobe After Effects or you can actually do it in 3D because the door is actually 3D. If you want to do this in solely After Effects, Filmright already covered this effect pretty thoroughly, so I will link you to that video in the description if you want to go and check that out. They show a really fun and easy way to do it completely within After Effects. But for my choice, I went for Cinema 4D and do it in the 3D way. So first I had this shot, so I needed to track it because it's actually moving. Then I brought in a cube and I just made the size match like a portal. I also animated this to grow over time. Then I duplicated that cube and I put it in an array so I can only see the edges in this case. So now I want to apply a texture to the body, and here I just want a texture that looks somewhat black and white with a lot of contrast in there, a little bit of damaged up, a little bit grungy, so I can use that later on in post. I could make this portal completely in 3D, but I didn't really saw the use in this case because it was going to increase in render times. I just wanted this information. Then I also used an emissive material from Octane to light up these edges. And the really cool thing about Octane is one, that it is really fast, and the other thing is that you have this post effect, so you immediately glow up the edges. So now I bring this into Adobe After Effects and I just import that texture, that diffuse material. And I'm going to use that as a texture for a compound blur. With a compound blur, you can actually blur based on a texture, so that's the really cool part. As you can see right here, some parts are more blurry than other parts. And then on top of that, you can also add a displacement effect to really make the background warp a little bit because you're actually looking through glass. You could do this in 3D like I said, but I just faked it in Adobe After Effects. Then I also brought in the multipass for the emissive material, so that's this. And then here I apply some more glow effects and just try to match up all the colors, and that in the end should give you something like this. Then I had to enter the portal. For this I used the same technique with those masked shapes. I just rotoscoped myself out for a small part where I'm covering the portal. Then I used my original footage clean plate to cover up the parts where I'm actually supposed to be in the portal. Otherwise it would look like I'm coming out of the portal. And then for these edges I used the same technique like the Loki transformation effect. I just tried to pay attention to the depth of my body and look at what part of my body is entering first and what not. And that brings us to this. Alright, there we have it, the 3 visual effects from Loki. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, hit the notification bell to stay notified when I upload new videos. And also, give me one of these. And if you're still in the mood to watch another video, I will link one right up here that is definitely worth a watch. Until next time, create epic videos.